I expect that all of us know that every Christian is called to holiness. So we'd like to consider for a few moments the implications of what that call means and why it matters. But first, a brief but important aside. In what I'm about to say, I'll be using the pronoun you rather than we. That's not because Linda and I think this doesn't apply to us. We know it does. But because in our life of faith, it's important not to generalize truths. Doing that can keep God at arm's length. For example, it's a good thing for you to believe that God provides, that He heals and forgives. But what's far more important is that you believe He'll provide for you, heal you, forgive you. That's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. And that's especially true in the matter of holiness. Since all of us are called to holiness, that necessarily means that you, personally, are called to holiness. In fact, you cannot fulfill your ultimate destiny without first having been made holy. It stands to reason, then, that you have to be convinced that holiness is possible for you. You see, God calls you to a personal relationship so authentic and profound, so intimate, a relationship so dynamic that through that relationship, He can transform you into His own divine image and likeness. That's the plan, His plan, and your eternal destiny. It begins here on earth, but ultimately comes to completion in heaven. And since the kingdom of heaven is perfect, it necessarily has to be populated with perfect, or perhaps better said, perfected citizens. You and I will only be ready for and will only be able to exist in heaven once our sin nature has been completely redeemed and we've been perfected. In other words, made holy. Now, what's important to understand, though at times difficult to believe, is that much of that work of being made holy can be accomplished before we die. That's at the heart of the adventure of the Christian life. But this work of transformation won't, in fact, cannot happen by accident. God is ready, willing, and more than able to accomplish that wonder in you. But there's a catch. You have to want it and to freely choose it. He'll never impose Himself or His plan upon you. He can't. That would go against the very essence of His nature. God is a lover. He calls, He woos, allures, beguiles, entices. The Old Testament in Hosea goes so far as to say that He seduces you, spiritually of course, all in the hope that you'll accept His marriage proposal and freely consent to trust Him and surrender to what St. Paul describes as the immeasurable greatness of His power in us who believe. So, do you truly believe that you are called to holiness and that God can accomplish that work in you? Have you freely surrendered to that amazing plan for your life? If you haven't, why not do so now? If you have, why not renew that surrender? I invite you to pray with me right now. Eternal Father, I thank You for having created me out of love and for love. I praise You for having saved and redeemed me through Jesus. And I bless You for the wonderful plan You have for my eternal destiny. I say yes to that plan for my life. I say yes to Your call to holiness, to Your call to seek You and love You with all my heart, mind, soul, and strength. Behold Your servant. Be it done unto me according to Your word. Father, I place my trust in You. Glory be to You, whose power at work within me can accomplish far more than I could ever ask or imagine.